We are recording. So today's video is not sponsored by anyone or anything. It's just me, a recreational runner, talking about things that affects recreational runners. So if you are a recreational runner, meaning you haven't been invited to the London Marathon, or you're not competing in any Diamond League event or what that the elites do, it's not your living, then you've got to stay tuned, then you've got to listen to what I'm going to talk about now. The big question: what do recreational runners do in this time of COVID, pandemic, lockdown and restrictions? What do these guys do to keep running? And stay tuned to the end, then you will find out what these guys do, recreational runners do, to keep on running and keep motivated. That's it. That's the intro. I've got a guest here today, all the way from Windhoek Namibia. He's also a recreational runner. He's a dad. He's a husband. He's a family man. He's a career man. And welcome Peter Jack, all the way from Windhoek. I'm sitting here in Joburg, and I thought we've got so much in common. Let's do a collab. Let's talk about our common interests. PJ, thank you for your time and welcome.
Yes, thank you, Brady. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, let's jump straight into it, PJ. You're a husband, you're a dad, you're an ultra runner. How do you find time to still do running and ultra running at that? Yeah.
Running, usually it was a rush, because you get from work, you have to pick up kids, get home, get dressed, and then you're out the door and you have to run as hard as you can in the time you have. So in the beginning it was a little bit tough to get in the mileage, balance the schedules, but since last year my wife actually showed me that you can also run in the morning during the week as well. So
yes,
so that was a game changer, that I could start running in the morning. It's still a little bit difficult, but it gives you so much more time in the afternoon. So yeah, I find running in the morning, winter is here, it's challenging, it's difficult to get up in the morning. Now you are a dad as well, and you're blessed with two beautiful kids, a boy and a girl. Since you started running, since you started being a dad, how did your running change? How did that schedule adjust to being a dad? Okay, I was luckily a dad for a long time before I started running. When I became a dad for the second time, when Kali Rose was born, that's when I started running. So she was born on the 31st, and my first run was the 31st of October, and my first run was 1st of November. Okay. So it was a whole celebration of life.
Yes.
And she was also born on the same day as my late grandfather, and with November being the Movember month and cancer awareness, so that's the whole fuel behind the running, and just to celebrate life. So getting started was a bit easier, but to still balance family, a newborn, a toddler, the wife, everything. So that still took some effort, and you have to adjust. You have to be willing to change a few things. Be out of the box. Stay out of the box. And what to me was also that my wife would come pick me up from work, and when she came, I was already dressed in running gear, and then I just give my bag and they drive home, and I'd start running. From work, I'll run home. So that was one of the things that I try to do, to just save a bit of time in the afternoon, and yeah.
Yeah, I can relate. At one point, I also did that. Took the bus into work, took my running gear, and just ran home from work. So the idea is it's got to fit into your schedule. So I like that idea. Maybe someone else can do the same. Another dad or another mum can also run from home. Oh, sorry, run home from work. That's an idea. Which do you prefer, trail running or road running? Which is your favorite?
I actually love them both. I started off as a trail runner,
Yes.
and it was in the beginning. It was a whole new adventure. It was really exciting to be out in the field and to run different routes, and it was really, I loved it a lot. But when I started doing longer distances, 21s, 30s, 42s, the road was much more satisfying because you feel that endurance beast more. You're on the road for longer periods of time, constant pace you try to keep, and so that's where the road has its advantages above the trail, because the trail it's stop start and navigate your way through. So but I love them both, each one to their own end.
Okay.
I wouldn't say the one above the other.
Okay. All right. I suppose each trail and road satisfy a different need within you as a runner. Okay. I'm a complete novice at trail running. But maybe in the next video I'm going to ask you for some advice on running trails. We'll talk about that if we do have time. Let's see here. So when we started talking as runners and as dads and as family men, you said that you are a bucket list runner as well. So what's next on your bucket list to run? What's next, PJ?
That list is long. There's a lot of runs I still want to do, and yeah, you get nervous when events get cancelled and you have to wait another year for an event. So but there's a lot of events I want to do. In Namibia, we don't have a lot of marathons. We have 4 big ones, I think. I've done the Windhoek City run, I've done, and then the Angana hike run, which I think is actually the oldest one in Namibia, where you run from Swakopmund to Walvis. I think that one is 30 plus years. So I've done the full marathon there once. And then the other 2 that I still want to do is the Rossing Marathon and then the Husap Marathon. So that's the local marathons, and then SA marathons. I still have to do Cape Town. Me and you still have to do Soweto Marathon.
Yes.
And then the ultras. I still have to do the real ultra marathon, 2 Oceans, Comrades.
Yes.
And then there's in Africa, there's also a lot of events. There's the Victoria Falls Marathon in Zimbabwe. There's one in Gaborone, Botswana. There's in Mozambique, and then I have to run in Kenya as well. That's a dream, to be there at the highest point in Africa, and probably the highest altitude in Africa, and try doing a marathon there.
I'm going to take some of your runs from your bucket list and put them on my list, because running is something that can take you a lot of places. You can see a lot of beautiful things and places and landscapes and that sort of thing. So definitely we've got to do Soweto. Then we've got to work at the rest of Africa, getting into those races as well. I'm praying that within the next year or 2, things start to get back to normal, where you can enter real races, not not this virtual nonsense. But for now, I suppose we've got to do with virtual races. What's your opinion on virtual races? Does that satisfy that running itch? Does it?
At this moment, I have virtual running has its pros, it has its cons. For me, it doesn't scratch that itch really. It's not as satisfying as a big event is.
Yes.
What the pros with virtual running is, you can do a lot of virtual runs. You can do a virtual run each day of the week.
Yeah.
You can do 2 in a day. So that's nice to have, and you get that satisfaction from completing races and getting that certificates and virtual medals and stuff.
Yeah.
But also what I like about the virtual races is I still use them to follow a program. So I did that with the Comrades Marathon, and then I'm also doing it now again with the Cape Town Marathon, where I follow the program up until the race date, which would be then a virtual race date. But that keeps you disciplined, but race day is not the same. It's not as satisfying.
I know what you mean when you say race day itself isn't satisfying, because part of the whole competing or entering a race is race day. You get there, you get up at 3 in the morning. Each runner has his or her own ritual. Get up at 3 in the morning, have a strong cup of coffee, have your whatever you eat before race, use the toilet before you run, and then you go out for your run, and you line up in the different starting pens, and then the gun fires and you're off. So that is lost with virtual races at the moment. But I'm positive it will return. Things will get
I'm hopeful as well.
Yeah, things will get back. So in this crazy times and hopefully you guys stayed tuned to the end to find out what recreational runners do in this day and age. In this crazy time that we live in, a new trend is emerging where guys will form groups, small groups, and they will take on a trail or take on a distance and start to run that. What is that? Are you experiencing something like that in Namibia as well, where small groups of guys who just start their own race, so to speak? We're doing our own race. Do you guys?
Yes, no, exactly. That's the same with us at the moment. We have a few creatives that would think up some crazy scheme, and then we all join them, and I think that's going to be our norm for the foreseeable future. But I love it because it's exciting. It's on your terms. You choose your distances. You choose the places you've seen. You drove there, but you haven't really ran there. So I like it. It's something new. It's something exciting, and it keeps the creative juices going. Because with myself and our running club, I've been involved in a lot of most of our events that we plan. So this is exciting to see that a lot of other people are creating events now and inviting people to come join them. So that's really nice to see.
Nice to see that. Yeah, and I like that as well, because now on the one side, like you said, you've driven through a place, but you haven't really gotten off the tar road, or you really haven't gotten out of the car to run that particular area. So now, people starting to do that, and you get groups where I've heard of not just runners but cyclists. A colleague of mine, what him and his cycling crew did, the other day. They toured Garden Route. So there was a bit of an entry fee, so to speak, and but that's more for your food, for the guys that will second you during the course of the distance. I buy into that sort of thing. So what they did was they had a van driving and supporting the guys, handing out shakes and water and whatever along the way, and they did from PE all the way to George, I think. So that full distance cycling, and that sort of thing, I feel has more value than a virtual race. Maybe that's just a left field opinion that I've got at the moment. That sort of thing is better than entering a race just for the sake of having that stamp, and there's no support along the way for you running on your own in any case.
When we did our comrades, it was also similar to that.
Okay.
Everybody that did the run together, we would each contribute something, and then that would go towards the support. So the support car was stacked with bananas, oranges, everything. So that made it a little bit more race day-ish, but that's more like, it's more like the creative side of creating your own event compared to it's just the virtual runs. So a lot of people are leaning towards that. There's a lot of camaraderie in that as well. The guys really support each other, and because you're sacrificing your whole day to drive for these guys and have water and bananas ready for them when they have to stop. So no, I'm glad to hear that is guys support each other along the way, with even if it's a virtual race. My opinion now has changed a little bit. There is a midway between a virtual race and a true race, where the guys would come together, you contribute, and you still get that race day vibe and support along the way. PJ, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed talking to you, and hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Good luck with you training for Cape Town Marathon at the moment. Yeah, the Cape Town Marathon, yes.
Okay. Good luck with that. What's the goal pace? What's your thinking?
Oh, yes. See, there's no goal paces anymore.
Okay.
It's just going through that, going to do the distance. But but I'd like to do. I haven't done a sub 4 in Windhoek yet.
Okay.
I've done a sub 4 at the coast. So Windhoek is a bit higher altitude. So I'd like to do a sub 4 here.
Okay.
That's something to work towards. Yeah.
Okay. You always have to have something to work towards. Have you found your route yet? Have you found your route to run?
Not yet. Because the other thing about Windhoek is we're surrounded by mountains, and most of the routes are hilly. So we're trying to see find the fastest route to get to that.
That's the advantage of virtual race and picking your own route.
Yes, exactly.
Play it in your favor.